Assalamu alaikum everyone. Sir. Sir. Screen time কি কমানো নাকি বুঝছেন? না ক্যামেরা না. Assalamu alaikum everyone. So I am Mahfuzur Rahman Mitul and my friend Riyaj, and today is absent my friend Rajan Shikdar. And before I presenting our presentation, we would like to thank our course instructor Muhammad Didarul Islam, lecturer, University of Scholars. So today we will discuss about humidity sensor. So what is humidity? Humidity is defined as the amount of water percent in the surrounding air. So what is humidity sensor? So a humidity sensor is an electric device that measures the humidity in its environment. So why we need to measure humidity? There are four major sectors to measure humidity. So that is first domestic, industrial, agriculture and medical. So in domestic sector, sensing and controlling humidity in our homes and offices is important, as higher humidity conditions will affect the blood flow. Other areas include cooking, indoor plantation, etc. And industrial sector, in industries like refineries, chemical, metal or other industries where furnaces are used, high humidity will reduce the amount of oxygen in the air and hence reduce the firing rate. Other industries like food processing, textile, paper, etc. also need control to humidity. And the agriculture sector, irrigation techniques like drip irrigation need to accurate moisture content for plants. Also the moisture in the soil plays an important role in the proper growth of the plant. Other areas where humidity control is required is indoor vegetation. On the other hand, medical sector, medical equipment like ventilators, incubators, sterilizers, etc. need humidity control. It also used in pharmaceutical plants and biological process. So here is the difference between humidity and moisture. So humidity terms refers to the water content in gases, and moisture means water content of any material or substance. So now my friend Riyaj discuss about the classification of humidity sensors.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Here is the classification of humidity sensors. There are three types of humidity sensor we usually used. Capacitive humidity sensor, thermal conductivity humidity sensor and electrical conductivity humidity sensor. So first of all we have to know what is the capacitive humidity sensor. Capacitive humidity sensor often used in application where factors like cost, rigidity and size are of concern. In capacitive relative humidity, which is known as RH sensor, the electrical permittivity of the dielectric material change with change in humidity. So we have to know how it's actually work. A simple capacitive RH sensor or relative humidity sensor can be made from an air filter capacitor as moisture in the atmosphere change its permittivity. But for practical application, air as a dielectric is not feasible. Hence, the space between the capacitor plates is usually filled with an appropriate dielectric material like isolator, which dielectric constant varies when it's subject to change in humidity. So here is a picture where we have shown the capacitive sensor or humidity sensor. There are two pictures. Here is the electrodes and here is the dielectric material. So next, electrical conductivity sensor. The resistive humidity sensor is usually made up of material with relatively low resistivity, and this resistivity changes significantly with changes in humidity. The relationship between resistance and humidity is inverse exponential. The low resistivity material is deposited on the top of two electrodes. Electrodes change when the top layer absorbs water, and this change can be measured with the help of simple circuit, and the circuit is shown here. Here is we have electric plates and terminals for measuring the humidity. So next is thermal conductivity humidity sensor. Thermal conductivity humidity sensor are also known as absolute humidity sensor or AH sensor, as they measure the absolute humidity. Thermal conductivity humidity sensor measure the thermal conductivity of both dry air as well as air with water vapor. The difference between the individual thermal conductivities can be related to absolute humidity. Here is a picture of thermal conductivity humidity sensor and how it's work. There is a picture we can see here. So in electrical sector or other sector, we have to concern some basic things to use a humidity sensor. First of all, we have to know the accuracy of the sensor, the size of the sensor, output repeatability, circuit complexity, resistance to concentration, relativity of the sensor, cost of the sensor, and cost of replacement. We have to keep in mind all these things are present in our humidity sensor which we have selected. So thanks to all for giving an opportunity to say something in front of the class. Thank you.
First of all, I have a question that anyone can answer these things. Just show me the previous slide. So, like this is a thing. These are the criteria, right? That we want before selecting any sensor that will measure humidity. You will actually follow this criteria. Okay, it's a very good thing. So, what actually output repeatability means for humidity sensor?
Actually, output repeatability, that's mean if we use this more and more, how the changes. বাংলায় করব অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমি যে একটা সেন্সর তো আমরা স্যার একবারের জন্য ইউজ করব না, আমরা একটা সেন্সর হয়তো বা 1 বছর 2 বছর আরও বেশি সময়ের জন্য ইউজ করতে পারি। তো দেখা গেছে যে আমি যদি এমন সেন্সর ইউজ করি যেটা প্রথম দিকে হচ্ছে স্যার ভালো আউটপুট দিচ্ছে, বাট যখন স্যার টাইমের সাথে সাথে হচ্ছে যেই কম্পোনেন্টগুলো সেগুলো স্যার নষ্ট হয়ে যেতে পারে বা হচ্ছে অন্যান্য এফোর্ট মানে স্যার এফেক্ট হইতে পারে, এর কারণে দেখা গেছে স্যার আউটপুটে তার ভেরিয়েশন ক্রিয়েট হতে পারে। যে আমি আগে যেটা থেকে সাপোজ আমি একটা থেকে 5 ভোল্ট পেতাম, এখন কিছুদিন যাওয়ার পর দেখা গেছে যে আমার রেজিস্টিভিটি বেড়ে গেছে বা কোনো একটা কারণে আমি এখন 4.9 ভোল্ট পাচ্ছি, এরকম করে আস্তে আস্তে মানে কমে যাতে না যায় বা এটা যাতে এটা বেড়ে যায়।
Means that if you change the condition, if you change the place of that particular sensor, the sensor if give the output in X place, it will be also equal the sensor will give the output in the Y place, right? So it will not change the output. For example, you are in Bangladesh, there is 25 degrees Celsius. The temperature of sensor is also supposed to be show 25 degrees Celsius in America when it will be 25 degrees Celsius temperature. So this is the things, and also it is also near with the output reproducibility answer. So yes, it's fine. And what does actually resistance to contamination means? It will answer this question. What does it mean?
Sir, actually, sir, I don't know about this sir, resistance communication.
I saw you just 2-3 slides you just described,
sir?
right? You just presented 2 or 3 slides or 4 slides. But
Yes,
that
sir,
was
first
not
four.
actually technical.
Sir,
term.
working
You avoid it, right? Why? I have to answer it.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি স্যার মানে আমি স্যার ডিটেলস স্যার এত মানে মানে ওয়ার্কিং প্রিন্সিপালটা স্যার ওই দেখতেছি তো স্যার মানে রিপোর্টটা যেমন স্যার আমি করতে
This is nothing like working principle. What does it mean? Resistance to contamination.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি স্যার মানে আমি স্যার নট মানে শিওর আমার স্যার মনে হয় যে মানে রেজিস্ট্যান্সের অ্যাক্রসে আসলে সেন্সরটার মানে তখন যে বিহেভিয়ারটা ওটা কেমন হবে
What does it mean? Resistance to contamination. Resistance to contamination, it does mean that like for example, humidity. The main purpose of that particular sensor, it will detect the humidity, okay, not the temperature. The temperature is actually contamination for it. Moisture is a contamination. Already you shown that humidity and moisture are not same thing,
স্যার গট ইট
right?
স্যার
So it will not actually manipulate the result. So it will try its best to give you the perfect accurate result. And it means that it will not contaminate or manipulate the results for the other particular influences. For example, moisture, temperature, whatever it is. So you will get the humidity correct answer. So other factors of the environment will not actually influence the sensor. So this is the case. Overall, that was a very nice presentation. Thank you for presenting these things in such way. But the first thing I will ask, one thing is that you told that actually you selected a particular sensor, but you didn't show it. So show. No, you didn't show anything.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি এটা মানে স্যার আমার বলাই ভুল হয়েছে যে আমরা সিলেক্ট করার সময় এই জিনিসটা
Also, it would be nice that if you show some of the things that yes, for the domestic or industrial purpose, actually I choose this criteria, this sensor. Why I choose this sensor? This are the things. Okay. So okay, thank you all. Nice presentation. Okay, now next turn is group number 4. They will present ultrasonic sensor. Group number 4, the members are Jibon Chandra Shil, MD Shahriar Islam, MD Sabir Hussain Hassan, and Muhammad Badrul Islam. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody. Now we will start our presentation. Today is our presentation title ultrasonic sensor. Let me introduce our group members. MD Badrul Islam, MD Sabir Hassan, and me, MD Shahriar Islam. Before starting the presentation, we would like to thank our post instructor Muhammad Didarul Islam, Department of Tripoli, University of Scholars. Now we will start. What is ultrasonic sensor? Ultrasonic transducers of ultrasonic sensors are a type of acoustic sensor divided into 3 broad categories. There are transmitters, receivers, and transceivers. Now, the ultrasonic sensor work will be discussed our group members MD Sabir Hassan.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for opportunity. Now I will discuss how does an ultrasonic sensor. As you can see that and ultrasonic sensor has two major part on its transmitter and on its receiver. Here the transmitter transmit the wave, and when a specific distance and any object are detect, then this wave reflect this object and reflected by and attracted by receiver. And here is the working principle. You can see that ultrasonic sensor work by emitting sound waves at a frequency too high for humans to hear. They then wait for the sound of reflected back, calculating distance based on the time required. This is similar to how radar measures the time it takes a radio wave to return after hitting an object. Next, as you can see that here is the one example, and here is the car, and here you can see that here is a added an ultrasonic sensor which transmitted a signal or wave signal, and then when this is the wall, when this transmitted wave reflected this wall and back this ultrasonic receiver, and then he sends and command the driver to stop this car. And you also see that here is the diagram or picture, and now what are these sensors used for? Here already I can say that I will say, and ultrasonic sensors are used around the world, indoors and outdoors, in the harsh conditions. For a variety of application, our ultrasonic sensor made with piezoelectric crystal used high frequency sound waves to resonate a desired frequency and convert electric energy into acoustic energy and vice versa. Now describe next part our group member Didarul.
Thank you, Sabbir. What are the part of the ultrasonic sensor? Left side, one ultrasonic sensor ACSR04, 4 pin, 1 VCC pin, 5 volt, 1 ground pin, 1 trigger pin, and 1 echo pin. There are two main parts of an ultrasonic sensor, one transmitter and one receiver. Transmitter transmit the signal electric energy to sound energy and detect wave and reflect the signal in receiver. Application uses ultrasonic sensor, liquid vehicle level control, robotic sensing, vehicle detection for car wash and automotive assemble, people detection of counting, distance measuring. And thank you.
স্যার ট্রান্সমিটারসটা হচ্ছে স্যার হচ্ছে আল্ট্রাসনিক সেন্সর থেকে স্যার যে ইয়েটা যাবে স্যার, ওয়েবটা যাবে, সেই ওয়েবটা যাওয়ার পরে স্যার হচ্ছে রিসিভার্সের কাজটা কি স্যার, রিসিভার্স ওইটা গ্রহণ করবে স্যার। গ্রহণ করার পরে স্যার হচ্ছে ট্রান্সিভার্স স্যার ওইটা আবার হচ্ছে মানে ওইটাই ব্যাকে কী করবে ট্রান্সিভার্স।
Not clear.
নো স্যার, নট ক্লিয়ার।
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I will ask anyone of you. This is HCSR04. There are two eyes. You can see if a non-engineering background people they will see these two eyes. In the middle of the eyes, something is look like a forehead. Or you can say, what does it mean?
It's a
Just transceivers.
So, no, it's not the transceivers. It's the crystal. Okay?
piezoelectric system.
Not like that. The same thing that you actually see in Arduino, right? So what actually it will generate that high amount of frequency, right? And it helps, and then that frequency actually it is sent by the transmitter. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's why we are using these things. Okay, and go to the next slide, and it will be answered by Sabir. First of all, you told me that in the receiver, it will receive this particular signal that will be actually reflected by the object, right?
Yes, sir.
Surroundings sound, how actually you can omit that receiver. There will be sounding sound, noise you will get. Now you are using this particular sensor for the line follower robot.
Yes.
And many people, their surroundings, they are talking, and there are machine noise or something like that. How actually it can avoid these things, that receiver sound? Actually other sound or noise, how actually it can avoid? Or is that have that ability to avoid the noise or not?
Sir, Bangladeshi sir, নয়েজ স্যার সে রিসিভ করতে পারবে যদি স্যার আমরা যে কোনো একটা মাইক্রো কন্ট্রোলার দ্বারা সেটাকে আমরা কোডিং করে নির্দেশ
Is that you wanted for that you want to receive the noise?
yes
Or
sir.
you want to receive the actual signal that is reflected signal? The answer it will be no. It will not actually receive the noise because that particular receiver designed for the particular range of frequency, and actually that is calculated that only for that particular frequency it will receive, otherwise frequency it will omit it. It will be omitted. Okay. Okay. Now it is time of Didarul. Show me your slide. Only this slide.
or
Okay. First of all, I will ask you that there are a bunch of applications you show me. So tell me, for liquid level control, I don't want to use this sensor. Can you tell me the reason? I will not. You will suggest me, sir, these things actually I will use. But I will not allow you to use liquid level control to determine the liquid level using this sensor. I will not recommend this. Why? There is a drawback for for mechanical level of liquid using this sensor.
হবে স্যার
Okay. Yes.
অবশ্যই
Because according to your working principle, you can actually determine you have to do code, right? You have to write code, you have to do the formula. That means, for example, for the range of frequency, the reflected frequency will differ according to the distance, right? That's the way actually it works. So my question is that yes, it will able to, the application that is stored here, it is applicable for that particular sensor. My question is that for the liquid level control, I will not use this thing. Why I will not use that ultrasonic sensor for liquid level measuring? What's the reason behind? বাংলা বলবো যে এইটা মনে করে লিকুইড লেভেল কন্ট্রোলটা আমি হচ্ছে এই সেন্সর দিয়ে করতে পারি, কিন্তু আমি এটা দিয়ে করবো না। একটা কারণ আছে, কি কারণে আমি এটা করবো না?
স্যার আমার পার্টে কতটুকু লিকুইড আছে সেটা তো আমি বলে দিতে পারবো না।
বলতে পারবে, আপনি পারবেন, খুবই সোজা। কারণ আপনি পার্টের যদি সার্কামফারেন্স জানতে পারেন, মানে এটার ব্যাসার্ধ জানতে পারেন, আর উচ্চতা কতটুকু আছে ওখান থেকে জানলে আপনি বের করতে পারেন। এটা খুবই সমস্যা নেই। ওই যে সিলিন্ডারের ইয়ে দিয়ে জানতে জাস্ট অল্প একটু ফর্মুলা দিলেই হয়ে যাবে। আপনার কাছে এইচটা আননোন থাকবে, ওই এইচটা আপনি জানতে পারবেন হচ্ছে ওই যে আপনার ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি কত কম বেশি ওইটা দিয়ে আপনি এইচের দূরত্ব নির্ধারণ করতে পারবেন। ওকে, কিন্তু আমি এটা করবো না, আমি করতে পারবো একদম পারফেক্ট ওয়েতেই কতটুকু লিকুইড করা যাবে। আমি কিন্তু আমার বাসার পানির ট্যাঙ্কের জন্য এটা দিব না আপনাকে। কেন
স্যার আমি বাসায় যদি ট্যাঙ্কিটা অনেক উপরে থাকে, আমি কতদিন পর্যন্ত আমার সেন্সরটা কাজ
সব আসবে, আসবে বাবা, আসবে, আসবে। এখানে কোনো সমস্যা নেই। আপনার ওইখানে আমি সেন্সর নিতে আনবোই না। আপনার এই যে আমি ওই যে আপনার জিপিএস মানে জিএসএম মডিউল দিয়ে বাসায় আমি বসে করব, করা যায়, সমস্যা নেই। কিন্তু আমি এটা দিব না আপনাকে, এই সেন্সরটা দিব। আচ্ছা, আমি তাহলে আপনি পারতেছেন। First of all, the thing is that in a liquid chamber there is the question of humidity, and the humidity actually it will decrease the sensor life. Okay, and then also it will the humidity also have a bad impact on receiver, transmitter, and receiver, transmitter at the same time. So that's why actually it will decrease the lifetime of that particular sensor, and you have to change it in every month, maybe in every week. You have to change the sensor, and it is not actually economically convenient for you. So that's the reason actually we will not go for that particular sensor. Okay, overall you just gave a very good presentation, and I hope in future when you will do the presentation you will do short research, and you will give a more slides as well. Okay, as you have to be ensure these things. Okay, thank you, thank you. ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ। আপনারা খুব ভালো প্রেজেন্টেশন দিয়েছেন।